Herminator.
Thank you. You know, I got that name when I was running the National Restaurant Association back during Hillary Care, when Bill Clinton was trying to pass health care, and I was a spokesperson for the Restaurant Association. Somebody came up with the name Herminator, and it had just stuck.
All right, I told you before you sat down that I love Herminator. I think it's fun. All right, you're seriously considering running for president?
Yes, I'm seriously considering running for president for the following reasons. Number one, I couldn't stand doing a radio show every night and watching the deterioration of this country, watching the deterioration of this economy, watching all of this spending not generate, you know, sizable jobs, didn't get the economy stimulated. And secondly, all of the frustration and anger that I hear from my listeners every night. And I was curious as to whether or not it was going to convert into votes on November the 2nd to change the political landscape, and it did. That was like a breath of fresh air. But the other thing the reason that I'm thinking about it is because of all of the things that are going on and all of the things that are happening in this country. We have got to get this nation back on the right track. And so I started to seriously consider it when people started to encourage me. I've taken trips to New Hampshire, I've taken trips to Iowa, been traveling all over the country. I've been very involved with the citizens movement, and I've gotten a lot of encouragement from people. But I've also gotten a lot of encouragement from people who can help me raise financial resources.
All right, a couple questions. One is, I take it from what you say that you're not a Democrat, because if you want to change the direction of the company, and they've been running. So that leaves three choices: Independent, Tea Party, or Republican.
I would be running as a Republican, because as you will recall, I ran as a Republican back in 2004 when I ran for the United States Senate, and I finished an impressive second. I didn't just come in second, it was impressive, because I almost forced a runoff. But no, I would run as a Republican, but I'm a conservative first and a Republican second.
What does that mean?
That
means you're dissatisfied with what the Republicans have done.
No, some of the things that they've done. That means that, number one, I believe in less government, lower taxes, and more individual responsibility. We need to restructure all of the different social programs that are supposed to help people, but instead they make people dependent. We need to design programs where people who help themselves, they will help them, such that they don't get hooked on it and see some of these programs as entitlement programs.
All right, if someone has made the mistake not to hear your radio show, or maybe may not know your background in terms of business background. You have a business background. Tell me what your business background is.
Yes, I graduated from Morehouse College in 1967, and I climbed the corporate ladder. I worked for the Department of the Navy as a mathematician. I worked for the Coca-Cola Company as a business analyst. I worked for the Pillsbury Company as a business analyst, later promoted to Vice President of Information Technology. I then moved over to the Burger King Corporation, started from the bottom up all over again, worked my way back up to become a Vice President at the Burger King Corporation, and then I was appointed President of Godfather's Pizza in Omaha, Nebraska. Took that company when we were looking bankruptcy right between the eyes. Turned that company around with the help of a good management team. And so most of my career has been solving problems. And I happen to believe, Greta, that a lot of the voters out there might be ready for an unconventional candidate for president in 2012. That's the other reason that I am seriously considering a run.
Why do you say unconventional?
Because I haven't held political office before. A lot of people are saying, that's good. Don't know how Washington works. A lot of people are saying, that's even better. Because if you go to Washington, D.C., knowing how it works, then you might try to work the way Washington works rather than change the way Washington works. And that would be my approach, just like it was when I took over the various businesses that I had the opportunity to be involved with in my business career.
All right, being a good candidate unfortunately isn't the only criteria. You got to raise money.
Yes.
What's the story on raising money? What are your feelers out there telling you?
My feelers are telling me that it's possible, because one of the things that I've been doing over the past several months is reaching out to people and asking them, are you willing to back an unconventional candidate? Are you willing to back someone who has a strategy that is bottoms up, outside the box? And what I mean by bottoms up, we've already developed a very, very impressive ground game in terms of support that I have as a natural constituency through various organizations that I've worked with.
All right, two quick questions. When are you going to decide?
Going to decide after the first of the year.
All right, and then the second question is, will you come back here and tell us first, maybe? I know you're friends with Neil Cavuto. So
Neil Cavuto
has
offered to disown me, even send Guido to break my knees if I don't announce it that first.
All right, then tell me this. What's the percentage likelihood you're going to run?
What's the percentage likelihood that I'm going to run?
Yeah.
70%.
All right. Well,
Fair enough?
that's fair enough. All right. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you, Greta. Thank you for having me on.
Next, she's a star singer and actress, and she has been performing Christmas